Hey everyone, I'm Helen. Welcome to my channel. Today's class is a yoga flow to lift your spirits when you're feeling a bit blue, maybe a bit unappreciated. This is a class for you to tune into yourself, to nurture yourself, and enjoy this time on the mat just for you. Props today will be a couple of blocks, a blanket, and you might need a yoga belt. When you've gathered those, I will see you on the mat. Today we will start in supported fish pose. This is where you'll need your blanket. Roll it up like a burrito and you'll place it on your mat down the center of it lengthways and lie back on top of it so it's between your shoulder blades going down to the tailbone. You can grab your blocks as well because if it feels good in the body, maybe your legs will come into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly, and you can place the blocks either side of the thighs just to give the groin a little bit of support. Soles of the feet come together and allow the knees to drop open. Arms are just released either by the sides, or you can place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Make sure your head is also supported on the blanket, and we'll start to surrender here in this really nourishing posture. And if you haven't done so already, I invite you to close the windows of the eyes and turn the arrows of attention inward. Maybe notice your breathing, the inhale and the exhale. This class today is about lifting your spirits if you're feeling a little down, a little blue. And we all feel like that sometimes. From my personal experience, if I do feel like that, then doing just a little bit of movement can make such a difference to my mood. Maybe as you move through the class today, you have real focused awareness on the different body parts, on what's going through your mind, how you're feeling emotionally, tuning into the body, and knowing that even if you do feel like this, everything is only temporary and tomorrow is another day. Take a couple more breaths in this posture. This pose is something of a pose of vulnerability where the body is completely open and unguarded. As you move through class today, I invite you to be unguarded, to be yourself, acknowledge what comes up and just let it be. Place the hands on the outside of the thighs and gently push the knees together. Move any props off to the side. Slowly roll off your blanket. Make your way up to hands and knees, tabletop. We will work through a few rounds of cat-cow to warm up the spine. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and on an inhale, the head lifts and the chest comes through the gates of the arms. Belly dips. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck in the chin, feeling the movement coming from the lower back. Inhale, head lifts and belly dips, and exhale, rounding into the cat. Keep moving like this in time with your breathing. Feeling the articulation of the spine just warming up as you come into that cat. Protracting the shoulders, really stretching out that space between them on the back and enjoying how it feels in the body. And then when you're ready, bring the seat back down to the heels, an extended child's pose. From here, on an inhale, come up to tabletop, lift the right arm up to the sky. Thread the needle underneath the left arm, hovering back up to the sky, seat back to heels. Again, inhale this time, left arm lifts, floating, thread the needle. Inhale, left arm to the sky, hand comes down, seat back to heels. A few more of these, either side. As you come up, you inhale and lift one arm up to the sky, threading the needle. And then back down to a child's pose, inhaling up the other way, lifting the arm, threading the needle, and back to child's pose. Moving in time with the breath. Again, enjoying this movement in the body. Twist feels so good to do. Taking your time, noticing sensation and how it makes you feel. From here, come back to tabletop, extend the right leg straight behind you and swing it over to the left side of the mat so the toes come to the outside, and look over the left shoulder towards your foot for a lateral flexion of the spine. Feeling a stretch in the right side body, the right outer hip. You can even rock backwards and forwards on the toe. And then release back to the midline. Second side, left leg lifts, swing over to the right side of the mat, tucking the toes, maybe rocking backwards and forwards on the ball of the foot. Looking over the shoulder, feeling the stretch in the left side body, and then return to the midline. Place the hands, one handprint in front, tuck the toes and lift the seat up to the sky, the first downward facing dog. Feet are around hip distance, knees can be bent, hands are shoulder distance, whatever feels comfortable for you. Upper back is wide, ears are between the biceps, and the triceps are rotated towards the back of the room. Tailbone to the sky, and imagine you're elongating the spine. Then bring the feet as wide as the mat for a wide-legged downward facing dog. So you may find when you do this that your heels come to the earth. This is a really nice stretch to do, feels so good in the spine. Then return to a regular dog. Rise up onto the tiptoes and walk to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Draping the belly on the thighs, bending the knees, cupping the elbows, maybe shaking the head from side to side, yes and no, releasing the neck. Tucking the belly inside, and if it feels good, maybe start to straighten the legs. You can always keep them bent as well. Or maybe you move through straightening the legs and then bending. This helps release the lower back a little bit and gets deep into the hamstrings and the backs of the knees. You can even sway side to side in a ragdoll. And then when you're ready, bring the hands to the hips, gauge the front spine, and slowly come up to standing. Bring the palms together at the chest. Leave a space between the palms. Imagine that you are holding the most precious secret in your hands, something sweet and beautiful and exquisite. If this secret was to be tangible, it might be a baby hummingbird. Imagine cradling it in your palms and protecting it. Bring it close to your heart space. Know this is something you want to protect, to nurture, and keep safe. Now imagine that this isn't a secret or a hummingbird, but your own spirit. And when I say spirit, I don't mean something religious. I mean that non-physical part of you, the seat of your emotions, your character, your energy, and your soul. That precious part of you that silently leads you through your day, that can be lifted, and similarly be broken. Today, know that you, your spirit, is safe between your palms. And even though you may be feeling a bit blue or down or unappreciated, your spirit is strong and resilient and you have the power to protect it no matter what and look after yourself. Take another breath here. Then on an inhale, raise the palms up to the sky, full body stretch. And as you exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up to a mountain, palms to chest. Again, inhale, palms lift. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, descend. Inhale, lift up to tall mountain. Exhale, palms to chest. Again, inhale, palms lift to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, descend. Inhale, palms lift to the sky. Exhale, palms to chest. Hook the thumbs, bend the knees and come into a chair pose. As you exhale, swing the arms behind you, bending down, and then inhale, lift back up to chair. Then plant the hands, halfway lift, and step the right foot back for a low lunge. Descend the knee to the earth, and then inhale, bring the palms up. As you exhale, palms come to the third eye, to the heart, and down to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale to a cobra. Then exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up. Left knee descends, arms to the sky. Then bring your prayer to your third eye, to the heart, back to the earth. Tuck the back toes and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way to a mountain, palms to chest. Again, hook the thumbs, bend the knees. Come into this chair with the hands swinging behind, then all the way back up to the sky. Plant the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, left knee to the earth. Low lunge, arms come up, palms come together, into the third eye, to the heart, then back to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps up, right knee to the earth. Inhale, low lunge. Palms to the third eye, to the heart, to the earth. Lift the back knee, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, hook the thumbs, all the way up to tall mountain, palms to chest. Again, hook the thumbs, reaching up, bend the knees, swing the arms behind. Inhale, back up to standing. Then forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg steps back, descend the knee. Come up, low lunge, palms together to the sky. Then to the third eye, to the heart, to the earth. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Plank, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. This time look over the right shoulder, feeling that stretch. Then bring the body back to the earth. Cobra again, but this time looking over the left shoulder. Then return to the earth. Push back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up, left knee to the earth. Low lunge. Third eye, heart to the earth. Back knee lifts, step forward, forward fold. Hook the thumbs, inhale all the way up to the sky. Exhale, palms to chest. Again, hook the thumbs, reaching up, bend the knees, swinging the arms back. Inhale all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot steps back, left knee descends, low lunge. Third eye to the heart, to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Come to plank, then knees, chest and chin. Cobra looking over the left shoulder, back to the earth. Cobra looking over the right shoulder, and back to the earth. And seat to heels, downward facing dog. Left foot steps up, right knee descends, low lunge, arms to the sky, then to the third eye, to the heart, to the earth. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up to the sky, palms to chest. Stand here for a moment in this mountain pose, bringing the hands together again, reconnecting with that baby hummingbird between your palms. Noticing how you feel, connecting with you, breathing, and then release. Inhale the arms up to the sky and exhale forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to a plank pose. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, bend the knee, stacking the hips. Do 5 knee circles in one direction, keeping the shoulders parallel to the earth. Moving in that whole range of motion of the hip. And then when you've done 5, do 5 the other way. I like to imagine I'm scraping some treacle from the inside of a barrel with my knee. That helps get the circular motion. When you've done 5 in each direction, just pause here in this scorpion tail, imagining that your right foot is going to touch your left shoulder, and then release back to 3-legged dog and step the right foot up between the hands for a low lunge. Plant the left hand and bring the right hand to the heart and then extend it up to the sky for a low lunge twist. Imagining the hips are remaining parallel to the earth and the twist is coming from the spine. Bring the left hand down and on an inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Front knee above front ankle, arms to the sky, and interlace the fingers and lean over to the right for double crescent. Stretching out the left side of the waist. Inhale back to center. Palms come to the chest. Lift the left elbow to the sky and then hook on the outside of the right side of the leg for a twist. You can bring the knee down if this is a bit challenging. Knowing the twist is coming from the spine, widening the shoulders. And then on an inhale, return to neutral. Come back up to crescent pose. And plant the hands and move through vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, bending the knees, stacking the hips, scraping the barrel on this side. So 5 knee circles in one direction and then 5 in the other. Really imagine that you're scraping all that treacle from the inside of the barrel. Keeping the shoulders parallel to the earth, equal weight in both hands. Feeling that movement in the hip joint. And when you've done 5 each side, pause in the scorpion tail, imagining you can bring that left foot to your right shoulder. Return to 3-legged dog and then step the left foot up between the hands for a low lunge. Plant the right hand on the earth and bring the left hand to the heart, then extend up to the sky for low lunge twist. Feeling it from the mid-spine, back leg straight and strong. Breathe in deep. And then on the next exhale, bring the hand down to the earth, ground into the front heel, high crescent. Bring the palms together overhead. Back leg straight and strong. And lean over to the left side for double crescent. Feeling the stretch all down the right side body, all those little intercostal muscles, sides of the ribs. And inhale back to the midline. Palms come to the chest. Lift the right elbow, hook it outside the left knee for a low lunge twist. You can bring the back knee down if necessary. Breathe here, keeping the upper back wide. Palms as close to the middle of the chest as possible. Then return to the center line, plant the hands, and take a vinyasa. We will all meet back in downward facing dog. Take a free breath here to reconnect with the self. And right leg lifts to the sky. Step up between the hands, destination, warrior two. Back foot is planted and intersecting the front heel. Arms come out to a T. Front knee of the front ankle. Inner arch of the back foot is activated. Gazing point is the middle finger of the front hand. Hips are parallel to the earth. Spine is tall. And flip the front palm. Move into reverse warrior, making sure that front knee stays bent. Come back up to warrior two. And move into modified side angle with the right elbow on top of the right thigh. The higher the body up is in this pose, the more rotation you can get towards the sky. You can look at the front palm or anywhere that feels good in your body. Then reverse the warrior. Come back up and we move into half moon pose. Stacking the shoulders. Can have a block under the right hand. If it feels good, you can move to Chapasana, grabbing the foot. Otherwise, half moon is totally fine. If you have Chapasana, release the leg and move back to warrior two, and then into a horse stance, bringing the palms to the chest. Knees are tracking over the ankles, sitting deep into those thighs. Palms connected with the heart. Straighten the legs, come into five-pointed star. Rotate back to the front of the mat and take a vinyasa. Side B. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step up, warrior two. Getting that stable base, shoulders stacked over the hips, arms out to a T, gazing point, middle finger of the front hand, relaxing the shoulders. Then flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, keeping the front knee bent. Come back up to warrior two, and we'll move to that modified side angle with the elbow on the thigh, sweeping the top up, arm down, up and around, reaching out of the waist, long line of energy from the back foot all the way to the front fingertips. Come back to warrior two. We'll move into half moon on this side, bringing the right hand to the right hip, coming forward, and use a block, bringing the left hand down, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, back leg straight and strong. If it's in your practice, you may bend the leg and grab the foot for Chapasana. You don't have to do this. This is a nice heart opener though. Breathing deep, focused gaze, focused mind. Release and gently step back to a warrior two, moving into that horse stance again with a prayer at the chest, sitting deep into the hips, knees tracking over ankles, spine tall. Bring the arms out to a T with the palms facing towards the sky for sun god. It was actually raining when I filmed this, so I thought I will honor the god of the sun in this class. Then straighten the legs, 5-pointed star. Rotate back to the front of the mat. Take your vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. Taking a breath or so to reconnect. And then when you're ready, make your way to the front of the mat. Come all the way up to standing and bring the palms back to the heart. We'll move into a couple of balances from here. So I will turn and face you. And the first one we will do is tree pose. Grounding down into the right leg, externally rotating the left hip. Bringing the foot to wherever is appropriate on your right leg. Pushing foot into leg. And bring the palms together at the heart in a lotus. See if you can bring your gaze towards the center of the lotus. So this challenges your balance a little bit. Keeping the mind steady, the breath steady, that standing leg fully engaged. Very slowly raise your lotus up to the sky. Maybe your eyes follow it. Then release the lotus and bring the arms wide. Rooting down to rise. And the palms come back to the chest. And release the tree leg. Side B. Grounding into the left leg. Externally rotating that right leg. Bringing the foot wherever is appropriate in your body. Maybe the thigh, maybe the shin. Palms come together again at the chest in that lotus shape. And look deep into your lotus. A symbol of renewal that rises from the mud. Maybe bring the lotus up to the sky, following it with your eyes. Then release your lotus into tree arms, wide. And bring the palms back to the chest. Bring the knee forward and release down, back to standing. From here we will move into a one-legged chair pose. Bring the feet together, palms to the chest, bend the knees, touch the earth with the hands to get the depth of your chair. Arms are up, ground into the left foot, lift the right leg off the floor and extend the leg in front of you. Knees are parallel to each other, sitting deep into that left leg and left glute, engaging the core. Palms come to the chest, and from here, slowly swing the leg back to come into a modified warrior 3. Hips are parallel to the earth, back leg is bone straight, the whole of the back body is engaged. You can have a micro bend in the standing leg. And place the right hand on the floor and we'll come into revolved half moon pose. You can use a block, trying to keep that extended leg as straight as possible, shoulders are stacked. Then bring the top hand down, maybe return to warrior 3. Then come all the way back up to standing, shake it out. Side B, come into chair pose, ground down into that right foot and lift the left leg off the floor for this one-legged chair pose. Really focusing on the balance, grounding into that standing foot. And then bring the hands to the chest, swing back through and come into a modified warrior 3. Hips parallel to the earth, whole of the back body engaged. Extended leg is bone straight. Then release the left hand to the floor, revolved half moon on this side. Stacking the shoulders as best you can. Breathing deep, not worrying about what it looks like. Just noticing how it feels in your body, making sure you still have the breath. Bring the top hand back down, engage that core, come back up to warrior 3. Then all the way back up to standing. Well done. shake it out. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Inhale the arms up to the sky and sit down into Malasana, yogi squat. Backs of the arms pressing onto the inside of the knees. Spine is tall. And then very gently release the seat back down to the earth. We'll do a couple of seated postures here. Start by bringing the left knee into the chest with the foot flat to the earth. Have about 1 fist space between your foot and your inner right thigh. Right hand comes behind. Inhale the left arm to the sky. Internally rotate the shoulder and maybe bind behind the back for Marichyasana A. You can just hold on to your clothing or use a belt here. The shoulders are parallel to the earth and you are reaching out on the spine. The right leg is active with the foot flexed. Then very gently release and come up. Bring the left leg directly out to the side from the hip, bending the knee and bending the ankle. Start to descend slowly over the front leg. So this is an internal rotation of the hip on the left side. You may not get that very far forward in this one, and that's okay. Making sure you're just going to the edge of challenge. And then when you're ready, slowly come up out of it. And then bring that left leg in for Savasana. Raise the left arm to the sky. As you exhale, lean forward over that extended leg. Maybe grab the outside of the right foot. Come into a mild twist here. You can tent the right fingers outside the right side of the mat. Descend over the leg. Long breaths. Now slowly come back up. Release that left leg. Maybe shake out the legs and the thighs. And we'll move on to the other side. Marichyasana A. Bring in the right foot in close to the hip bone. Fist space between the foot and the thigh. Leaning forward, maybe clasping behind the back. Maybe not. Shoulders parallel to the earth. Left leg active with the foot flexed. Gently release, and we'll move into that internal rotation of the right hip. The right leg, the thigh comes out parallel to the hip. Knees bent at 90, ankle at 90. And descend over the extended left leg. Not worrying about how far forward you can come, just honoring where your body is. Tuning in to whatever you're feeling. And very gently we'll come back up. Use the hand to help move that right leg and come into Savasana on this side. Right foot on the inside of the left thigh. Left hand behind like a kickstand. Reach the right arm up, extending through the waist, and then exhale, fold forward. Maybe grabbing the outside of the left foot with the right hand. Surrendering down. I say we hold a lot of our emotions in the hip area, so these seated postures can help get in there, move any stagnant energy, help us release any pent-up emotions. Very slowly come out of the pose. And we'll move into a seated forward fold. I did the yin version here, caterpillar. So with caterpillar, the legs are just loose, they're not flexed, nothing's engaged. And I used a few props to build a little tower to rest my head on. And just surrendering over, curling in on myself for this pose. So although yin is done traditionally with a cold body and we have been moving about, We can still embrace the stillness of a yin pose and get benefits from it, even in a yang class. Melting into the earth, letting go, breathing deep, and quieting the mind. And very slowly start to come back up. Then grab a block and get it nearby and roll down onto the spine. Place the block underneath the sacrum. When it's in a comfortable position, so I recommend either the low high or the medium high, extend the legs straight out and the arms overhead. So this is a supported back bend. This is opening the psoas. And then gently bring the right knee in towards the chest. It probably won't get that close to it. See if you can clasp the hands around the knee. And slowly release. Bring the other knee in. Clasp the hands if possible. Find this posture just feels so good. And slowly release. Bring the arms overhead and just lay here on this block for a moment or so, stretching out the whole of the front body. Those hip flexors. The psoas is the muscle of the soul. So it's great to get into that. And if you have the block on the medium high, I recommend to now put it to the low high. We'll come into Viparita Karani in the middle of the mat. The legs are released up to the sky and stacking them directly above the hips. This actually involves very little muscle engagement. The arms can be by the sides with the palms facing upwards. And just enjoy this therapeutic pose, which is so calming to the nervous system. Always makes me feel so good. And take this opportunity to tune into you again and how you're feeling. Maybe you feel a little bit better than you did at the start of class. Moving through all these postures stimulates our prana, our energy. It really does wonders for us. That's why I love yoga so much. It's magical. Very slowly bring the feet down to the earth. Remove the block from underneath the sacrum. Bring the feet mat distance apart and knock the knees together for constructive rest. You can bring the hands to the belly. This just brings the psoas back into a neutral position. Bring the left leg up, hook it over the right thigh, arms come to cactus, and allow the legs to fall to the left side of the mat, coming into a different version of a spinal twist, using the power of the left leg on the outside of the right thigh. So bring that closer to the earth. And inhale back to the center line. Hook the right foot over the left knee, then use the power of the foot to pull that left knee down towards the right side of the mat. Maybe looking over the left shoulder if that feels good on the neck. Enjoying this twist. Then come back to the midline. Release the legs. We'll move into our final posture, Savasana, the most important posture of all. Spread the legs wide and the arms wide. As one of my teachers says, take up some real estate. Close the eyes, melt into the earth. Savasana. Continue to lay here for as long as feels good for you, or you can start to come out, wiggling the fingers and toes, and maybe interlacing the fingers above the head for a full body stretch. When you're ready, you can bring the knees in and roll gently over onto your favorite side, just pausing for a moment with the hands underneath the cheek like a pillow. And with closed eyes, slowly come up to a comfortable position. Bring the palms together again at the chest, with that space between them, holding your baby hummingbird, connecting it to your heart, connecting with your spirit, feeling safe and secure, and knowing that anytime you need to connect to yourself, you can always come to your mat. Bring the palms up to the third eye, then to the lips, and then back to the heart. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.